YouTube, Tuxedo Martini coming back at you for our first ever official mail day. We're going to be opening every single package I've gotten over the past week. Mainly these are from both Facebook and Facebook groups I'm in, along with some eBay promotions that were run. So I'll go over those as we're opening. But I've got you pointed towards the sliding deck door in my dining room tonight, because we're going to take a look there, focus in the back. It is nor'easter number 3 in the Boston area over the last 2 weeks. We're supposed to be getting 1.5 feet of snow, so I've got a snow day today. I'm glad all this stuff arrived yesterday, so I can do this on film and hopefully show you off some of the nice things I've purchased. So I had to show you a quick shot of what it's like outside right now. Like I said before, we're expecting about 1.5 feet of snow. Probably have 1/3 of that so far. It's been snowing since about 3 in the morning here. We're about 10 miles north of Boston, and this is my backyard here. I'll open this sliding deck. It's so beautiful and peaceful out. And it is a perfect day to open some baseball cards. Before we get started on the video today, I always like to go over the cards that I put out in front of you as a backdrop. So on the ends are 1968 checklists from the top series, as you can see. Now, I guess my point of putting these out today is never throw out team cards or checklists or anything like that, because they can actually have a lot of value. Now, the ones from 68, in the shape they're in, may be worth a few dollars, at $5 at the top, but that Philadelphia Phillies one in the middle, I just looked on ComC. Somebody's got a PSA 7 on there listed for almost $400. That one's in really good shape. Other than the centering, it's not going to grade out at a 7, as you can see. But you know, I even opening the 59 tops. That's what those are from. The package that I had a couple weeks back, I was like, oh, look at these. These are great. Some had markings on the back, so I even tossed a few of those. But I had at least 20 team cards in there, and these are the best of the best. The Cincinnati one there, I just looked up. You can see that they're called the Red Legs. So in the late 50s, because of the Russian scare in the Red communism, the Reds decided to change their name to the Red Legs for a couple years. I think it started in 53 and it ended right around the year this card was made. So that's a nice little fact for you. I had no idea, so I had to look it up before I showed these cards off, and just hope you learned something today. All right, let's get to the heart of the matter and open some baseball cards. In the interest of time, I have already snipped off the top of all these packages, so I think all but one are PSA graded, and one of them is not a baseball card. So I'm going to include it here just because it's so cool and such a part of my childhood in the early 90s, and just want to show it to everybody just so you can appreciate it. All right, so let's get started on card number 1 here. Hopefully I've got all these backwards, so keep people's privacy private that sent me things. First up, got a PSA graded. Oh, one of my favorites I purchased. So this was actually looking at a 56 Topps Willie Mays PSA 1. I know it's not in the best condition. I was looking to spend the 20% coupon that eBay was offering last week, and I had already purchased a bunch of these other ones through the eBay Bucks program that was running at 8% through the online app. So I just wanted to grab, I think I put in 2 more through the 20% promotion. What you do is you put them in your cart and then you purchase them all at once, and you get 20% off the total. So this was within my price range. I didn't own any 50s Willie Mays graded cards, so just happy to add this to my collection, and we'll continue on. Okay, next up. All right. We have a 1951 Bowman Ted Gray here at a PSA 7. So because of the eBay promotion, I was looking to get higher grade 51 Bowmans. I've gone over this before. My ComC name is Bowman 1951, and I also have the same username on Blowout Forums. So I am a 51 Topps, sorry, Bowman set builder, and approaching 10% right now of the PSA graded. I've got a bunch that aren't graded, but I don't even really count those. And it's just nice to add more 7s to the collection. Okay, we're gonna go in and unwrap this one. All right, this one's all snipped up, ready to pull out of the package. Looks like we've got another 51 Bowman. This is a Paul Richards, also in a 7. This is my favorite card of the entire set, so I had to grab this at the highest grade that I could afford. The caricature within his face and the drawing here, it's just a piece of art to me. People either love it or hate it within the set, but I am one of those that, like I said, I love it beyond maybe the Mays and Mantle rookies. It is an amazing card, and one I think everybody should collect, especially just, to me, how funny the card looks. Because if you see Paul Richards in other photos or other years of cards, he does not look anything like that caricature. All right, let's pull this one out. Okay, so this one is not actually a baseball card. This is what I was talking about earlier. What a fun purchase. PSA 8, 1990 Fleer Basketball wax pack with a Michael Jordan sticking out on the back. Now, this is probably really tough to see, but there is definitely a Jordan in there. PSA knows it. You can see the cards that go through it. I am able to faintly make that out. So I've been eyeing unopened packs of baseball, like late 70s, just to see what I could afford. And I ended up with this one because it was, for whatever reason, such a good deal compared to all the other ones that were listed on eBay. Less than $100 right now. And, you know, Michael Jordan was my all-time favorite basketball player. I'm a huge North Carolina fan. And this is just going to end up on my mantle forever and ever until somebody desires to open it up out of the case someday. These are really thick. I don't know if you've ever gotten one of these before, but obviously it's a pack, but just the PSA case is interesting compared to all the other cards. Okay, we're going to be back again. Oh, maybe this is just in an envelope. Should be easier to open. Good job packaging these, eBay sellers. Okay. Next up, 1964 Topps Carl Yastrzemski for the Red Sox. I'm a huge Red Sox fan, trying to get as many vintage cards as I can. I've got another order. Actually, we're going to go through... no, we're not, because it hasn't arrived yet. That'll probably be for the next video, so we'll save that. But I didn't own many Yaz cards that were graded. I think I've got every card of his from like 1969 to 1982, but not a single one of them were graded. My last video, I attempted to send one off, and unfortunately it came back as altered, so it didn't even make it through. But this is a nice one. It's, I think, his 4th year card, and this was in my price range at a PSA 5. Okay, done 3 more packages. I'm sorry, 2. Another Bowman to add to the list. Now, this isn't going to go into my 1951 set. I hadn't owned any 48s that were graded. I did have a few ungraded that I got at the card show a few months back, but nice PSA 5 to add to the collection, get that going. Let's finish one at a time. I'd like to focus just strictly on 51 Bowmans before I even think about building another set, but gotta love the photography here, and always love the size of the Bowmans. They're not, you know, before Topps increased the size of the cards in 1952, this is pretty much what every baseball card looked like, or it was skinnier like the TT06s and anything in the early 20th century. So last up wasn't necessarily a purchase. It was a trade I made with a really nice guy named Wesley off of Facebook from Topeka, Kansas. He was looking for 68 Topps, which I came upon in a lot recently, and just sight unseen, I ended up sending him some of the nicest I had in my series and just mailed them out to him. He wasn't even expecting them, so it was a nice surprise for him. And in return, I just said, hey, send me a block of vintage that you have. So this is the care package that I got. It's got this card taped to the outside. I'm not really sure why yet, but we got to get this open, and I have no idea what's inside, but it's going to be exciting to find out. There was a lot of packaging on those. Thank you, Wesley, for protecting the cards. So I've got the boxes open. I pulled out the packs here on top. Yeah, just taking a peek at what we're looking at here. I do remember telling him that I'm a big fan of the 71 series as well as the 75 tops. So we're going to take these out of the package and go through the majority of these cards. There's probably too many to keep on camera. Got an Alan Foster here from the Dodgers. Playoffs. Julian from the Cardinals. Oh, there's a nice one. It's a Red Sox fan. Happy to have that. And Billy Martin. Bart Johnson from the White Sox. Astros player. So I have very few from the 71 set, even though I'm a huge fan and I understand how condition sensitive these are. So I'm just happy to continue to add to that year. Can't wait to get these sleeved up into the boxes. A Red Sox player. Ending with the Royals. All right, let's move on to what I believe is an entire stack of 75s. Wow, this one's even thicker. Rush through these here. I'm not seeing, now I have more 75s on hand. A lot of Red Sox and Phillies, which I also tend to collect. I did not have many of these already in my set, which is nice. So I'm trying to avoid duplicates. He had no idea. I think I do have a Bruce Bochy I've gotten at a card show. Hey, there's one of those team cards I was talking about. Never throw those away. Alright, we're just about through these here. And this is really nice. I'm so glad that I do not see, other than the Bochy, a single duplicate that I have. Mike Hargrove. Manager. And ending on Ed Figueroa here. So appreciate everybody watching. Just excited to receive a bunch of packages in the mail. I've got more on the way. This was not everything. I just wanted to do the opening on my snow day, and appreciate everybody tuning in. Have a great day.